Yeah, I've got to say I didn't see that coming, Ian. To be honest, in the second half, but we were good in the first half, and could have had maybe another goal or so. But yes, the second half we lacked personality, and and this is that's the biggest disappointment. You got to grind it out sometimes in football, and that first 10, 15 minutes of the second half we weren't playing well, but we had to do that. But then we gave them a lifeline into the game with the penalty, and then all of a sudden, very quickly, you're 2-1 behind. But I was more disappointed then with the reaction, because it's probably the first time, and I would say, Ian, as well, a big apology to the supporters, because if they're watching that was unacceptable for a Leicester City team. You cannot do that, and I've never been anywhere near that since we've been here. So no, it was a huge disappointment, and it was like I said, we lacked the spirit and attitude, especially when it went to 10 men.
You've apologised. The captain, Kasper Schmeichel's apologised. I wonder whether Charles Soyuncu has offered an apology in the dressing room, Brendan, because that it's difficult to describe what happened there without using some pretty forceful words. I'd imagine he's pretty upset with himself. Has he offered an apology because it had a huge influence on the game?
Yeah, I think that it's disappointing, because we're ready without three of our top players to lose him now for 3 games in the fourth one. But we're not a big enough squad in order to carry that level as of yet. So yeah, it was just a stupid reaction. I said to him, you got to defend the first bit better. His cover position can be better when the ball goes over Johnny's head. But yeah, just becomes reckless, and then all of a sudden it puts you on the back foot. In saying that, we have to defend better than that. I've won lots of games as a manager when we've been, when I've had 10 men, and like I say, we didn't show the right spirit when we went to 10 men, and that was a huge disappointment.
Brendan, lots of people are asking about the substitution of Kelechi Iheanacho at half-time. Was that an injury? Was it a tactical thing? And if it was a tactical decision, I wonder whether you're happy to explain it, because he didn't seem to be doing a bad job, and the game pivoted at half-time. Was Kelechi Iheanacho injured? And if not, what was the reason for his withdrawal?
No, the idea was that, he wasn't having one of his better games. However, I felt that the real issue in the game, the only issue for us defensively, was on the sides of the pitch. And when you're playing with 2 and 1 in front, then of course it's a lot of space for Wilf and Yuri to cover. So the idea was to keep 2 strikers on, push Ayo up, who's a different type of striker to Vards, who was playing very well, and then bring in the extra midfield player who can still be in advance and attack, but allow you to control the game. So. But that was the theory behind it. It wasn't so much about technical and tactical. I think tonight was really, but we didn't have the right attitude in the second half to go on with that courage to play in, and that ability to when it is tough, of which this team has shown many times that they were able to see that through. So that was the biggest. It was about spirit, really, and attitude, and that was the biggest disappointment.
To challenge that, Brendan, Ayoze Perez seemed to be playing pretty well in a deep position in the first half. Matt Piper suggested if he gave a half-time man of the match, it probably would have been Ayoze Perez for how well he was playing. He was picking it up deep. He wanted the ball. Then advancing him seemed to nullify actually what he'd done so well. So it just seemed to upset the equilibrium of what you had and what you'd done so well in that first half by bringing on Dennis Praet.
No, he was still playing in the same position. He was obviously in that sort of 10 role, so he wasn't right. Obviously, if you analyse the game, you'll see that he was still in that position, free. So his actual role didn't change, but it was because he was playing off of Jamie.
There's a lot of angry fans, Brendan. I'm sure you can appreciate that, who are worried about the some are describing kind of capitulation, the poor second half, the poor 45 minutes of football that you have had in a few games of late as well. There's been some good halves and some good second halves, and are very, very concerned about the possibility of European football. What would you have to say to the people that are worried and concerned and angry tonight?
Yeah, no, I totally have empathy for them. Absolutely, we've never shown that performance in the second half. We've been beaten 4-0 by Liverpool, and that was just, we got a lesson that night in quality at the very highest level of the Premier League. I think what we've done is what we've shown too much of late, that we're a 45-minute team, and that we played for 45, and then not been so good in the second half, or vice versa. We haven't been so good, and then you have to rescue the game at half time, and then go out and then we're better in the second half. So we have to have a greater mentality and personality to play for longer periods, and that's something that we have to go in, analyse and look at.
And finally from me, Brendan, mentality, personality needed, and you've now got your centre half out for 3 games, and you've got 3 games now, Brendan, surely by your own admission that you're going to have to win all 3 if you harbour European plans, don't you? How are you going to get that mentality and that personality back from tonight into your last 3 games?
Well, that's our work. That's what we have to. We're back in tomorrow. There'll be huge disappointment on the way home tonight. However, we can't dwell on it, because we're into another tough game on Thursday. So now it's about finding the way to look to get over the line and ensure that we achieve our goals, which was to have European football. We missed a huge opportunity tonight to jump into third. But it's why I've always talked about, waiting to the end of the season, because these are pressure times, pressure games, and thus far we haven't played well enough. So, but we'll go away, we'll pick the spirits up again, and like I say, we get 3 points on Thursday. Then it refocuses then for the remaining games.
Still believe you can do it?
I've always believed. I think it's one where we, like I said, we have to play, and worried to play better football consistently. That's what we're looking to do, Ian, because, as I said, there's no point in focusing on anything else. You have to play well in order to win and have a certain mentality. And tonight we were way off that level. So we need to get back on it again and absolutely fight now for the next game.
Appreciate the time, Brendan. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Thank you.
Brendan Rodgers speaking.
Brendan, James Cole here, Sky Sports News. Can you hear me?
Hi, James.
Hi, Brendan. You mentioned there character and attitude. Can you put your finger on what's changed since the restart and why we've seen this dip from your team, and how can you address it?
I think we're not taking the risk, and that sometimes could be through fear, can be through a number of things. We, like you say, we went 1-0 up at half time and had good confidence in the game, and we're working well, but then stopped attacking, stopped showing for the ball, stopped moving, stopped taking the responsibility. And it's as simple as that. We haven't attacked well enough, and that means having the courage to get on the ball, to play, to take the risk, and that's something, especially with the player, the likes of James and Ricardo, guys that we have out. That's what those types of players are. However, we can have no excuse. We were a squad that's how we play, that's how we work. But but you have to have the courage to continue to do that, especially under pressure. And I think for probably a lot of the players, it's finding this moment and in this last period when it's under pressure. That's when you really got to show. So it's a big and a harsh learning curve for us. But that is what you need to be able to do in these moments, and we're not doing it consistent enough.
Are you worried now about top 4 after tonight's game?
No, I can't. I've always said the measure is at the end of the season. If we finish in there, we deserve to. If we don't, we don't deserve to be there. It's as simple as that. It means we haven't consistently played well enough. My worry is the second half, what our spirit was like and our attitude, because that's something that will never be looked at within this team since I've been here. Our mentality we've shown in terms of conceding goals, we don't concede many. We're up there with the best defence at this level. So that's the worry. The worry is getting back to performing. And if you can do that and lose games, then you have to hold your hand up that you weren't quite good enough. But we have to look at getting that performance level back again, get the energy back into the team and get that attacking spirit. Because like I say, we do it for 45 minutes and that isn't going to sustain at the top end of this table.
Guys, we're going to have to leave it there. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.